Let me ask you another question, which I think the Germans are at fault for this semantically, but it used to be when you went for PMP certification, when you were in the application process, you still have to put in your hours that you had. But one of the things I love PMI for is PMI said their definition of it said you had to be a project manager in the project. But PMI's definition of a project manager was not necessarily that you were the project leader. It was that you had an implemental part in the project, right? I love that concept. Now, I'm going to give you I also speak German, so I think this is where the suspicion came. And the German chapters have had a lot of influence on PMI in a good way primarily. But in German, we have two words that we use. We use the word Projektleiter, which means project leader, and we also have project manager. And I think it's from the German language that PMI picked this up. And if I'm not mistaken, in the new application process, they expect you to be the project leader, and they've kind of said, no, because you're talking about this, not everybody should be able to take it, which I think is terrible because you can be the project leader of a 10,000 euro project or a project manager in a multi-billion-dollar project, and I think the latter is more impressive than the first. Sure. What's your take on that?
Yeah, no, I agree. When we were meeting to put this together, we had to come up with a name. And everybody else on the committee but me, which is not unusual, said, we want to call it PPM, Professional Project Manager. I said, well, you can call it that if you want, but you've just limited your market substantially, because I said, when you put a team together, there's one person as a manager, there's 25 other people on the project team that need to understand project management.
Because it's a team sport. Well, you don't win with one player, you win with a team.
And so I spent 3 days of my life negotiating that concept, getting people to understand it. And so now we finally end up with PMP, which is where it should be.
Yeah.
I told people, I said, you can be a PMP and never manage a project. Never manage a project. You work
or
on
lead
projects,
a project. You'll manage it, but you won't lead it.
But exactly. And so they bought that. Now here's the problem. When we rolled it out as the gold standard in every place but U.S. and Canada, they expected PMP to be PPM. Mm. They expected if I hire PMP, I'm really hiring a PPM, and he's going to move in and immediately be able to do that job and manage that big project.
Yeah.
That's not what we intended. Never was, and I hope never will be, because it's just too small of a. Like you said, you can't do it with one person.
Yeah,
it's just impossible. So
I think it violates the very principle of inclusive collaborative work, which is the nature of project management.
Give me a team of 10 PMPs. That's great. Don't give me a team of one PMP. And I think I hope that stays consistent. I hope we stay with that.
Yeah.